up, you guys? It's Danny B. You're watching the Trash Dash. In this video, I'm going to be ranking the Massacre franchise, which includes the Slumber Party Massacre, Sorority House Massacre, Cheerleader Massacre, and Sharkansas Womens Prison Massacre. These are actually all kind of like little individual franchises, but they are all, most of them are produced by the same company, which was like Concord, Roger Corman's company. And this was actually really confusing to find out how many films there are in this universe. So according to Wikipedia, that's the franchises that are officially connected. And I kind of look at it like how Marvel does it, where there's like, you know, the Avengers, there's the X-Men and stuff, but then they're all kind of like under the same umbrella of Marvel. So these kind of range from being like really kind of just straight up generic slasher films to really fun. They're just fun ones to put on if you just want to see like some slashers and some boobs and that kind of thing. Alright, so let's get into the ranking. Alright, coming up at number 10 is going to be Slumber Party Massacre Part 3. To me, this is like the most generic and kind of lamest one in my opinion. Like, there's the kill scenes aren't that great, the nudity isn't that great, so it's like, what's great about it? I'm not trying to sound like I hate this film or anything, because I do like it, but it's just like my least favorite. Something that does make it pretty enjoyable is the like 90s aesthetic. It's very 90s looking, everything from like the clothes to the way that people are acting in it to the setting, so it's pretty nostalgic if you like the 90s. Alright, coming up at number 9, and honestly this one could be interchangeable with Slumber Party Massacre 3. I like this one and this one the same amount. It's going to be Sorority House Massacre. This one's honestly kind of the same thing, where the kill scenes aren't that great, and the nudity's not that great, and the characters aren't that great. But what gives this one kind of the edge is that it does have some cool special effects, and like actually the horror element, like there's some creepy things going on with this girl having visions and stuff. And the music is actually pretty good in it too. So I'll give the edge at number 9 to Sorority House Massacre. Alright, coming up at number 8 is going to be Hard to Die, Sorority House Massacre Part 3. This one has a lot more going for it, in my opinion, than the Sorority House Massacre Part 1. But at the same time, like, I feel like the director went a little too far. Like, it's people purposely acting bad, but definitely not a boring film or anything. It's just, to me, like, it's just like a little bit way too cheesy. You know, I think I had this one hyped up like pretty high. I was most looking forward to this one, but I ended up not liking it as much as I thought I would. But definitely not a bad one. It's got its moments. So number 8, Hard to Die, Sorority House Massacre Part 3. All right, coming up at number 7 is going to be Sharkansas Womens Prison Massacre. And I think really the only thing that ties us in with the rest of the franchise is the director Jim Wynorski did this, who did like the majority of the Sorority House Massacre movies and the Cheerleader Massacre movies. And then the theme song in the opening scene kind of sounds a little bit like the Slumber Party Massacre theme. But it's basically the same premise. You know, you got a bunch of hot women and they're being attacked, this time by sharks that fly on land. Something that's different about this one is that the women in this are like all pretty tough. Like in most of these other movies, there's like one tough chick and then the rest are kind of like helpless. This one, they're all pretty tough. They're all, you know, convicts, and they're fighting these sharks that are living in Arkansas, I guess, and they're going on the land. They're like swamp sharks, land sharks. Honestly, this was a made for sci-fi original, I believe, so it's no worse or better than any of the other like sci-fi generic kind of movies. If you like those movies, you'd probably like this, because it's maybe even a step above some of those. But yeah, I had fun watching this one. There isn't that much nudity in this one, which might be a major detractor if you're into that kind of thing. But yeah, this was a fun one. Number 7, Sharkansas Womens Prison Massacre. Alright, coming up at number 6 is going to be Slumber Party Massacre 2021, the remake. Not the original film, but like the Sci-Fi Channel original remake. And this is another one that's a made-for-TV movie, so it doesn't have like the nudity that the other ones got. I don't care so much about that, but like what does detract from me is that they kind of went this like meta comedy route, where I don't know what they're trying to do, like make social commentary or parody social commentary. I don't really know, but honestly, I didn't like that about this movie, but I do really love like the kill scenes in this, and the guy that plays the driller killer in this is really awesome. So this one's kind of a mixed bag. Like I really like half of it, and the other half I'm like, oh my god, this is horrible. And what it is like, you know, these are the daughters of the original Slumber Party Massacre or some shit that are now out for revenge on the driller killer who's still out there. And then they're kind of like making fun of the other movies and stuff. I would have much loved this one a lot better if they just did a straight up requel to the Slumber Party Massacre and just made it like a straight up horror film instead of trying to do all this other stuff. I'm like, oh my god. But the kill scenes in this do deliver, and then the way it's shot and stuff is really cool. So yeah, number 6, Slumber Party Massacre 2021. I would very much like a straightforward horror sequel to this one. Alright, coming up in number 5 is going to be Cheerleader Massacre. And this one was originally supposed to be Slumber Party Massacre Part 4, but I don't know, at the last minute, I don't know if it was Roger Corman or just some other producer said, nah, there's too many of those films, so just do a whole new one. But you do got the character from the first Slumber Party Massacre, Linda, back in this one. And then even like flashback footage of Slumber Party Massacre. Jim Wynorski does this in every film where he retells the story of some other massacre that happened and then he shows the footage from Slumber Party Massacre. So he does that again in this one. Now, I was not expecting it. I died laughing when he did it. But the thing different about this one is it's actually got like the same actress as that movie playing the same character, I guess. The story is a little bit different, but I think she's supposed to be the same character. This one feels the most like a sequel to the original, even more than the remake to the original did. And this one actually was pretty good. I was pleasantly surprised. I was not expecting this one to be any good at all, really, because it came out in 2003 and it was like really low budget. But honestly, not too bad. A little slow, but it's got some good kill scenes and some good characters and a good kind of like basic slasher movie. So number 5, Cheerleader Massacre. All right, coming up at number 4 is going to be the original Slumber Party Massacre. This one, you know, is pretty much a Halloween ripoff, but instead of Michael Myers, you got the driller killer, and the guy that plays him is super creepy. So that's kind of what works with this film, is that the guy is really creepy. You got a really cool weapon with this giant drill, and then the characters are fun. Like, it meets all the minimum requirements for a good slasher film. So it's not like on this level of like Halloween or anything, but it is a fun watch. And you got some pretty cheesy jokes in this and stuff. Pretty decent kill scenes. Overall, you know, I like this one. It's not my favorite in the franchise, but I do like it. So the original Slumber Party Massacre are number 4. And these next 3 are my favorites in the franchise. I love all 3 of these ones. So coming up at number 3 is going to be Sorority House Massacre Part 2. This one, to me, worked the best out of any of the Sorority House Massacre films. You get like this group of girls moving into a sorority house. You got a creepy neighbor who I thought in this movie worked a lot better than in Hard to Die. Like in Hard to Die, they kind of like played out his character, I thought, but in this one he works perfect for it. And I really like the group of girls in this film, especially the brunette girl. Honestly, I was pretty mad that she died first because she was my favorite character by far. But this one's kind of a mystery where you don't really know who's doing the killing. All you know is that someone named Hacker, I forget the guy's name, but he killed someone in this house years ago. Maybe he's back, maybe it's someone different, but I don't want to tell. A lot of pretty good kill scenes, a lot of good characters, and I don't know, this one's just a lot of fun. So Sorority House Massacre Part 2 at number 3. And coming up at number 2, and I was not expecting this one to be so high on the list, but Cheerleader Massacre Part 2. This one was a blast. I was genuinely shocked by how much I like this one. So this one I was dying laughing because it's got like CGI robots killing these cheerleaders. You got these like razor drones flying through the air, slashing everyone up. You got robotic bugs blowing people's heads off and shit. And then on top of that, all the girls in this are super hot and you see them naked, like, I don't know, 20 shower scenes with these girls. I'm not trying to hype it up like it's the best movie in the world or anything. It's definitely got, you know, kind of a slower pacing, especially halfway through. But this one, honestly, is a lot of fun. It's a little bit like the Puppet Master reboot, like when they had all the, like, new puppets flying through the air and shit, but honestly this one did it way better in my opinion. And it's all like just this like terrible CGI, but it's so bad that I was fucking just dying laughing of like people getting chopped in half and shit. Yeah, I thought this one was a blast. So number 2, Cheerleader Massacre Part 2. And coming up at number 1 is going to be Slumber Party Massacre Part 2. This one is so much fun. Honestly, it's more in the style of like Nightmare on Elm Street. Slumber Party Massacre was like basically like a Halloween ripoff, and then this one's more like a Nightmare on Elm Street ripoff. But you got the same sister character from the first one, different actors, but same character returning. You got a lot of great 80s special effects. People like this one scene where this girl's zit like takes up her whole face and explodes onto the other girl. And then the killer in this, I don't know what if they're trying to make him look more like John Travolta or Andrew Dice Clay, but this guy's fucking hilarious. He's like singing and dancing with his drill guitar. He's dressed up like this 50s greaser with the motorcycle jacket and everything. He's dancing around and singing. But even just like the scenes where he's not doing any of that, he's fucking hilarious. Like the girl's about to have sex and she goes like, I've never, and then he interrupts and is right in her face. It goes, gone all the way. So he's like a total smart ass character on top of being like this like fucking Andrew Dice Clay, John Travolta lookalike. And I like all the characters in this one too. They're a little bit more generic than in like the Sorority House Massacre Part 2, but they're still fun. They're like typical 80s teenager kind of characters. And the guy that plays the killer in this, I found out is like the CEO of Little Caesars, or the son of the CEO of Little Caesars, some shit. At some point he was the CEO. So that's kind of funny because Slumber Party Massacre is like, you know, the pizza franchise. Like everyone's eating pizza all the time in this shit. The fucking killer is the CEO of Little Caesars Pizza. So that would be so funny if like Little Caesars at some point did like some kind of promotional thing where like maybe like put him on a pizza box or a t-shirt or something. But yeah, definitely my favorite in the franchise. This one's just a blast. Alright you guys, that's gonna do it. That was my ranking of the Massacre franchise. Let me know which one of those is your favorite. Let me know if there's any good like knockoffs like that are not the official films in this list, but like, you know, like Dude Bro Party Massacre 3 or like the Pillowcase Massacre. Those are the ones I could kind of think of. Let me know if there's any of those good ones out there. And let me know if you want another Slumber Party Massacre sci-fi movie, but like a straight up horror one instead of like this kind of like meta comedy one. Alright you guys, this is Danny B. You're watching The Trash Dish. Hit the like button, comment, and subscribe. Peace out.